Megan Thee Stallion. In her words, a deep dive into survival, strength, and the power of owning your narrative. Megan Thee Stallion, in her words, is not your typical music documentary. It doesn't follow the conventional path of charting an artist's rise to fame, indulging in studio sessions, or boasting about platinum records and sold-out tours. Instead, it takes viewers on an emotional journey that digs deep into the life of Megan Pete, the woman behind the iconic stage name, and a woman whose strength has been tested far beyond the challenges of the music industry. For those deeply embedded in Megan's fanbase, this film offers an unflinching look at who she is outside of the glitz and glam. For others, it might present a difficult yet rewarding introduction to a woman grappling with trauma, fame, and personal growth in the public eye. From the outset, it's clear that this is a documentary meant for the true fans, those who have been with Megan through every tweet, every viral moment, every hit single, and, perhaps most significantly, through the darkest chapters of her life. Fans who have followed her story closely will appreciate the candidness of the film, where Megan doesn't just recount the events that have made headlines but allows herself to be vulnerable in ways we rarely see from artists of her caliber. For them, this documentary will feel like a continuation of a conversation that has been ongoing, with Megan offering more depth, more rawness, and more of her personal truth. However, for those who may not be as familiar with Megan Thee Stallion outside of her chart-topping hits like Savage and WAP, the film may present a steeper learning curve. It doesn't spend much time catering to casual viewers or those unfamiliar with her legal battle with Tory Lanez, the shooting incident, or the emotional aftermath that unfolded in its wake. This isn't a documentary interested in painting Megan in broad strokes for a general audience. It's an unapologetically personal exploration of the trauma she has endured and how it has shaped her. This might make it less accessible for those who are only acquainted with her music, but for those willing to listen and engage with her story, it offers profound insight into what it means to live in the spotlight while dealing with deeply personal pain. The crux of the documentary is Megan's recounting of the now infamous night when she was shot, allegedly by rapper Tory Lanez, and the subsequent media frenzy and legal battle that followed. The incident itself shook the music world, but what followed was, in many ways, even more devastating. Megan found herself not only physically harmed but thrust into a brutal trial by public opinion. As she speaks about the backlash she faced, especially online, it becomes clear just how isolating her experience was. Despite being the victim, Megan found herself vilified by some, doubted by many, and subject to a barrage of criticism that questioned her honesty and motives. This scrutiny is something she addresses head-on in Megan Thee Stallion, in her words. It's a powerful and emotional moment when Megan explains what it felt like to have her truth questioned by the public, by fans, and even by people within the industry. The documentary captures the weight of that burden, making it clear that the public perception of the incident was almost as damaging as the physical and emotional trauma she endured. Yet, despite the negativity, Megan refuses to allow this chapter of her life to define her. There's a quote often attributed to Mariah Carey, "I don't know her," typically used to dismiss someone of little consequence or to distance oneself from a subject of controversy. In some ways, this sentiment reflects how parts of the music world responded to Megan's ordeal. Those who weren't interested in her personal life, who didn't care to look beyond the headlines, might have dismissed the incident altogether, preferring to focus on her music and her public persona. But Megan's story demands to be told, and for those who choose to engage with it, the documentary offers an intimate, nuanced portrait of a woman struggling to reclaim her narrative in the face of overwhelming odds. One of the documentary's strengths is its refusal to paint Megan as a victim. While it doesn't shy away from the trauma she experienced, it is ultimately a film about survival and resilience. Megan is shown not as someone who is defined by what happened to her but as someone who has used her experience to fuel her growth, both personally and artistically. This is not a story of a woman brought down by violence, it's a story of a woman who is learning how to rise above it. For survivors of violent acts, Megan Thee Stallion, in her words, offers both a cathartic and, at times, painful viewing experience. The film is unflinching in its portrayal of Megan's pain, but it also serves as a reminder that healing is possible, even for someone in the public eye, under the scrutiny of millions. Megan's resilience serves as a beacon for others who may be struggling with their own traumas, showing that no matter how public or private their pain may be, they are not alone in their journey toward healing. The tone of the documentary is intimate, with much of it focusing on Megan's reflections and candid discussions about her experience. There's an unmistakable vulnerability in the way she speaks, but it's coupled with a fierce determination to move forward. This balance of strength and vulnerability is one of the most compelling aspects of the film. It shows that even someone as successful and seemingly untouchable as Megan Thee Stallion can face immense hardships, yet still find the courage to keep pushing forward. For those who came into the documentary hoping to see more of Megan's process as an artist or to learn more about the making of her music, they may be disappointed. Megan Thee Stallion, in her words, isn't about her career in the traditional sense. It's not a film that highlights her achievements in the music industry, her chart-topping hits, or her accolades. Instead, it focuses on Megan as a person, a woman navigating an incredibly difficult period in her life with grace and strength. The music, in this context, takes a backseat, but for those who truly care about Megan as a person, that won't be a problem. This film is about understanding her on a deeper, more human level. Ultimately, the documentary leaves viewers with a sense of hope. Megan Thee Stallion's story isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. While she has faced unimaginable challenges, her determination to continue healing, to continue growing, and to continue telling her story on her terms is inspiring. She is still Megan Pete, a woman who is figuring out how to move forward, and a woman who is fiercely reclaiming her narrative in a world that too often tries to control it for her. In the end, Megan Thee Stallion, in her words, is a powerful testament to resilience, not just for Megan but for anyone who has ever faced adversity and come out stronger. It's a must-watch for her dedicated fans, but it also serves as an important piece of storytelling for anyone interested in what it truly means to survive, heal, and thrive in the face of unimaginable hardship.